In this video, we'll learn how to draw these 6 different types of trees in Inkscape. If you're not familiar with Inkscape, it's a completely free professional program for creating vector art. So this is all vector illustration, and you can download the source file completely free and follow along, or use it for whatever you want. I've partnered with UkrArtdesign to have this artwork created, so check them out in the link in the description of this video as well. We'll hop over to the screencast, and we'll start with this path tool, or this Bezier curve tool. We can left click and hold to create a curve, and we're going to sort of create this first shape of this bushy part of the tree. I should mention this is an intermediate level tutorial, so if you're not familiar with how paths and objects work, check out some of my other videos here. I have playlists teaching how to use Inkscape from a very beginner level. We'll go into the fill and stroke settings, and we'll turn off the stroke, and we'll turn on the fill of just this one object selected. So the fill is black right now, and we can change it to more of a green color, and we can adjust this in the future too. We'll repeat these steps: stroke off, fill on for this object. And this is sort of what it's going to look like when it's finished. So you can see these are the bushy parts of the tree. Now we'll go back into the path tool, and we're going to click, and we're going to create sort of a highlight. So we don't care about the outside part. All we care is where it overlaps. We'll right click and go duplicate on the main object, and then go path intersection. And what that does is create just this sort of moon shape on top. We can change the color, and now we have a highlight on the top of this part of the tree. Let's repeat these steps again with the path tool, and we'll just left click. We can left click and hold to create a sort of a bow or an arc, and then once this is created, we right click and go duplicate, because once we do the intersection, the main part disappears. So path intersection, and now we really have 3 different paths here, and we can change them to be different colors. We'll repeat this one more time to create even a darker shadow on the bottom. So we just create a shape that we want. We need to duplicate, path intersection. And these steps are going to be repeated over and over again. You always just duplicate the path that you want to contrast it against, or you want to cut it out against, and then do path intersection. Is going to be really the bulk of this video. So I'm going to speed up this part here. We'll do the exact same steps. We create a highlight, then we create a shadow, always making sure to duplicate by going to right click duplicate. You can also do Control D as a shortcut. We'll left click and select everything and go to Object Group. And now we'll group both of these, and now they can move as one group together. So it makes it nice. Once it's completed, sort of, we can group it. We can still make changes by double clicking, or a nice little trick is we can use the gradient tool. Over here we click on the gradient tool, and then if we click, even though it's grouped, we can change just the color of a certain object or path within the group. Sort of a nice trick. Let's draw again another path. We'll just sort of fill out this tree, creating highlights and shadows. We can control the levels and the layers, so when we draw something, it appears on a higher level. We'll draw the trunk now. Again, the trunk is just a path. So we create the base outline, and then we'll create some different highlights. And here we're going to create 4 different paths. Notice there's 4 of them. We select them all, and we go to Path Union, because we want to create an intersection piece between the trunk. So we'll right click and duplicate the trunk, and then we select this new union path that we have and go to Path Intersection. And that's the way that you can get multiple paths to either intersection or difference with something. So you have to do a union first. We'll lower the opacity of the trunk here, and then notice it's overlapping into the tree part, the green part, so we'll lower down the level. We'll draw a little circle here to create some maybe this is a hole or just sort of a darker spot on the trunk. Let's group this. We'll increase the size, and then we can group everything together. And maybe it's still missing a little bit of depth. We can create another part on the back here. So we'll just draw this part, and then we can change it to a darker color green, lower it to the lower level. We'll group everything, and then to give it a little bit of more contrast and make it look more realistic, we'll add just a little bit of greenery for it to sit on. And now we have a finished tree. Let's start with the next one. Using the path tool, we'll just draw a different type of trunk, and then we can sort of size it however we want. And that's the nice part about working in vector, is that you can always draw whatever size you want, and you can rescale it without losing any clarity. We're going to do these same steps, creating some highlights here. We'll go to Path Union and then Path Difference to create sort of the highlights and the shadows on the tree trunk. And then lots of different paths. Here we can just create paths and then have them be different colors, making sure to turn off the stroke and turn on the fill. And then we can just change the color. We can also use the color picker tool to sort of reference the same colors that were used in our last tree so that everything looks sort of uniform, like it's being hit by the same type of light. And here we have another finished tree. So let's do another one. This one's a pine tree, sort of a very jagged type pine tree. So we create the whole outline just using the path tool. We can get in, if we double click, we can get in and edit those nodes individually. We'll draw some different parts of the tree here, some of the highlights, and then we can select all of these and make them all the same color. And then we'll just add a little bit of a shadow here at the bottom of the tree. If this feels like it's going too fast, you can always slow this video down in the bottom right-hand corner. You can slow it down as much as 25% to kind of follow along more. Like I said, this is a little bit more of intermediate, so I'm just trying to show you the method of creating this artwork. I want to mention here, we're going to do a gradient. And so for the gradient, we just give it a solid stroke, and then we go to the gradient tool and we left-click and hold. And it does whatever color that stroke was, and it fades into transparency. So we'll do the same thing again here. It's black, and then fading into transparency by left-clicking and holding using the gradient tool. We can group this all together. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll create just a little bit of highlights on the tree. We can change them all to this color of green, and then we can add gradients to each one by left-clicking and holding. If we go into the Edit Nodes by Path tool, and then we can go to Object to Path, we can actually bow and arc out a part of our shape like this. We can create a circle and give it a radial gradient by clicking here, and then we can lower it down to the lower level so it's behind the tree trunk. And this sort of creates a nice circular shadow. It's a really easy way to give a nice shadow effect to an object. You can create these tree trunks as complicated or as simple as you want. The nice thing about drawing trees like this in Inkscape is that you can use this artwork for all kinds of things. You could use them in parts of animations, and since everything is drawn separately, you could actually animate like the wind blowing and different parts of these trees moving independently of each other since they're separate objects. You can also use them in any type of artwork you want. You could put it on a business card, or it could be a logo. You could use the design for a t-shirt or a ball cap. You could cut it out using like a laser cutter or CNC machine. You could use this as the source file to do embroidery work. So really there's all kinds of applications for using artwork like this in Inkscape. Just finishing up this final tree here, we can group the whole thing together, make sure every tree is grouped individually, and then we can add a background, and we can change this background however we want. We'll add a little radial gradient from the center, and we'll just arrange these into a nice pleasing manner. And that's the trees. Well, I hope you found this video informative. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Leave your questions and comments below if you have any, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.